Week 8 of the NFL season is here, and to help me break down the main slate for Sunday's action, those games in the 1 and 4 o'clock windows, is Andrew Cooper. So we're going to break down all the games, the players you need to know. We're going to enter a lineup. We'll even do a little pick 'em and see if we can't do well with the pick 'em entry there. So coming up next, all the daily fantasy information that you need for Fantasy Spin for Week 8 coming up next. So I am Colby Conway. That is Andrew Cooper. Find him over on X at Coop A Fiasco. So Coop, glad to have you back. It's been about a year or so since we had you on here. So let's talk Week 8 action. What's some games you're hoping to see some players for on this first spin? Maybe a game we're avoiding, perhaps. Just who do we need to have if we want to win some tokens or win some cash?
Yeah, man. I mean, first of all, I love spinning, dude. It doesn't feel like it's been a year, but I guess it has. Yeah, I guess it has for the weekly one. But yeah, I love hitting the spin. And I think there's a couple games on the slate, like the Cowboys Broncos game. That should be a close one. The only game with the 50-point over under. So you're gonna want people in there. I kind of, you're looking at teams like that have been hot, like the Colts, maybe like the New England Patriots. I know that matchup's maybe not that great, but we're looking around at the hot teams, and also obviously the individual matchups are gonna factor in. Maybe a guy like CeeDee Lamb probably matchup proof, but some of these corners are shut down. Some of these defenses very good versus the tight end or very good versus the run. So I mean, it's all part of the spin. You got to balance whether you can even afford to lean into that stuff. So
Yep.
let's get spinning.
Unfortunately, we do have 10 spins to make a little magic happen here. So let's look right to that first running back. More often than not, you see Saquon Barkley come up on the screen. You're just smashing the lock button. You're moving on. But I think I saw something on X today. He leads the league in negative runs or yards that I guess went for 0 or fewer yards. And, the Giants, a couple weeks ago only had 8.7 points against him. So I can't believe I'm asking this, but do we pass on Saquon Barkley?
I don't think we do, man. I don't think we do, just because we have enough. There's flex spots here, and anytime you can get a top, it's hard. You can't rank the guy outside the top 10. I think I have him ranked 6 this week, so we gotta lock him in. Well, I gotta lock him in when we get the chance.
Yeah, but at least if you look at the Giants here, 5.2 yards per carry on the year and the 6th highest explosive run rate allowed. So hoping for good things for him. We do have Tet McMillan down there as well, down in the flex spot. Obviously, the projection's pretty solid at 12, and Buffalo half decent corners, but they're exploitable. I'm actually interested. I wrote about it over in Fantasy Alarm. I'm kind of intrigued for Tet McMillan with Andy Dalton this week. So do you want to use a lock on him, or are we spinning for something better?
I'll spin again, but he's a buy low candidate for me in the redraft leagues, just because, anytime you get these guys coming off a game where they face Christian Gonzalez and kind of get shut down a little bit, the guys coming off the Sauce Gardner games, the Patrick Surtain games, you can often buy low on those guys. Andy Dalton didn't throw more than 2 passes to any player last week, except for the other guy on the screen, Xavier Legette, who got 5 targets. We're not going to lock him in either, but you never know who Dalton's going to like here. Last week he liked Legette, but that's probably matchup related. I think we can spin those guys away.
Yep, I'm good with that. At least we got Barkley in there. Well, it sure as hell ain't going to be Justin Fields. I'm going to make sure. I know we already have one Eagle, but over at Fantasy Alarm, I basically said Devontae Smith was my play of the week in DFS this week. Andrew Phillips has been so bad in the slot. And guess who didn't practice on Wednesday? Mr. A.J. Brown. Not that if Brown's out there and Smith is irrelevant, but I'm going to kind of beat the drum here for Devontae Smith. Do you have any objections?
No, let's do it, dude. And Dallas Goedert also has been banged up. I'm not sure if he's practiced today, but was limited yesterday, so we'll see on that. Egbuka, he got back on the practice field today, but he's been kind of banged up. And I don't know. I feel like when you're playing this high risk, high reward game already, we might need to just lock him in as a guy with no Mike Evans, no Chris Godwin. If he's healthy here, he's a top 5 option.
I think you might be underestimating MVP Tez a little bit, though, just with the tone of voice there.
Tez also a decent option for a 1-week spot start until Godwin gets back. I think people getting a little over their skis. The MVP story is so funny, dude. For folks that don't know, they were chanting MVP for Baker Mayfield, and Tez thought it was for him. Which, I mean, I love that, dude. You got to have that confidence, man.
Hey, I love it. I think it's one of those things where some people could have been like, how could he really think they're for him? I love the confidence and be like,
heart, dude.
These guys love me. I love
MVP,
it.
Dude. Yeah.
I love it. So we'll go ahead and spin again, see what else we can get here. You kind of talked about, well, hold on a second. We're gonna
Hold
lock
on.
in. We're gonna lock
Get
in
that
Jamar
locked
Chase. If
in.
Joe Flacco's gonna give him 73 targets, fine by me there in the wide receiver spot. Is this a week that we can trust Evan Ingram? Obviously, Dallas just sucks defensively.
Right.
So can we trust Evan Ingram?
I mean, I already do trust him. If you go back since he got back from injury, no tight end, the only tight end, only one tight end has more targets than him since he got back. Only Trey McBride. He's gotten at least 6 targets in each of the last 4 games. He's not a full-time player just yet. Still only a 67% route participation, but that's been trending up. So I don't know if we want to. It's hard because I like this player a lot, but we need some big upside to win though. Do we want to keep spinning to try and get like a Tyler Warren or somebody like that? No McBride on the slate this week. He's on bye.
Yep. And I mean, we do have to get ourselves a good tight end because if I'm not mistaken, isn't this weekend tight end day? Isn't Sunday?
National tight end
Yep.
day. Right. Last year we saw a record 16 touchdowns to tight ends and 177 catches. Not going to beat that record this year. You know why?
It's by Mageddon.
Last year there were no buys for week 8. This year there's 6. So I mean, unless you never know. You never know. Maybe George Kittle can sing a
Stop.
home I know against
Stop.
the Texans. The Texans are a bad matchup for tight ends. That's why part of me is looking at Ingram is like maybe we just get it out of the way. We haven't even had a quarterback yet that we've had a thought about. How
Nope.
many more locks do we have?
We still have 2 locks that we can use, but we still have 7 spins.
Yeah, let's
So
keep spinning.
we're in a pretty good spot, I think.
Swift keeps coming up, dude. I would be Swift is the kind of player that I'd be happy if we landed on him with the last spin, right?
Yeah.
And just like, okay, good.
Yep.
We'll
Not when there's 7 left though. Josh Allen, no objections.
lock him in.
And then of course we still can't get a good tight end. We get Nick Chubb, who played second fiddle to Woody Marks last week on the worst offense in the NFL. But you didn't hear that from me.
We're not going to put a tight end at the flex. We're just not going to do it. Not going to lock it at least.
Not unless it's Tyler Warren.
No.
So let's go. You kind of mentioned, we talked about that Dallas-Denver game, and I think some people are going to have some different thoughts on this. You mentioned CeeDee Lamb's kind of matchup proof because they move him all around. He'll go into the slot. I kind of have this belief that Pickens is going to have more of his routes going up against Pat Surtain than CeeDee Lamb will, because it seems like they're kind of they're not stuck in their ways with Pickens as their X, but he's going to be the traditional X with Lamb's the guy that moves around. So I love the spot. I love this game environment, but I'm just scared to death of Pat Surtain on Pickens all game.
Right. I'm out on Pickens. And yeah, we see that with a lot of the elite corners, they don't follow guys into the slot. And CeeDee Lamb, like the year that he had his legendary season, top 3 all time in PPR points, he actually ran the 4th most routes of any player from the slot. That's how they use him. That's how most teams use like their top guys these days. The traditional X is kind of reserved. A lot of teams kind of just throw a body out there, like Michael Wilson on the Cardinals or some of these teams. So yeah, I'm off it this week.
Michael Wilson just taking jabs there from you just off to
I
the
know.
side.
Sorry, dude. Sorry, Michael.
No Chase Brown, right?
No Chase Brown. No.
Okay. All right. So
I did move him up a little bit from where we've had him because Flacco is proved he can run the offense, but it's still a terrible, terrible offensive line. Maybe the worst run blocking offensive line in all of football. And that's saying something with the Chargers missing so many guys.
Yep. And just the Texans being fully healthy up there too. But
anyway, right there.
Hey, I didn't say it. Didn't hear it from me.
Oh, look at that.
This is shaping up nice. You talk about matchup proof. That's Christian McCaffrey. Houston's pretty good against the run, but I mean, their linebackers are not good covering running back. So smash spot.
That's been the rub for a lot of these teams. You look at there's very few teams that are just running pure against the running back. Like even a team like Seattle that isn't letting up a lot of rush yards per game. They're letting up over 7 receptions a game. So McCaffrey always seems to find he'll get his one way or the other.
And also not that you need reasons to start McCaffrey, but look at they're playing Houston. D'Amico Ryans, where'd he come from? San Fran. So they know exactly what to do against this wide 9 defense. And there was this shot from last week. I think it was the first play of the game back when I had hope. And then by the second snap, I lost it when Seattle had the ball. But they had their wide 9. The 2 defensive tackles were outside of the guards. They just ran a simple duo right there. And they're nowhere near the guys. Mm-hmm. It is just, that team is baffling, my man.
Dude. It's tough, dude, because the pieces are there, the hope's there every year, and then there it goes. I think unfortunately a lot of these teams it starts with ownership and then it trickles down. So hopefully they can right the ship, man. Because
Yep.
it's fun when you guys are good. A couple of years ago with C.J. Stroud and the Bobby Sloak offense with the fullback and the Tank Dell and
Yeah.
Nico Collins. I mean, that
And
was
I'm
fun.
unbearable when they're good.
I
So
know. Yeah,
that's
that's
probably what
same
a lot
rep.
of people like. But maybe people are like, hey, that Colby kid need to be put in his place a little bit. He was getting a little too high for his horse right there.
I mean, I was thought people. I was mentioning this on the show the other day that like people are like, "Oh, the Patriots fans are starting to be annoying again." I'm like, "Did I never for 1 second stop being annoying? Not for 1 second, dude. Not,
The
not,
casual fans maybe did, but not
not,
not the
no, not
diehards.
me, dude. Not for a moment, dude. Pats have always been back in my eyes. Just at
They never
different
left.
increments.
They never
Uh,
left. All right, so here
so
we go. 3 spins left. This is interesting because if you look at Houston's practice report, Nico Collins ain't playing. He's not getting out of concussion protocol. Christian Kirk's dead. His hamstring is shot. He's not going to play this week. And Schultz had, I believe, 9 catches. I think it was on 10 targets
right.
against Seattle. He's limited. He's going to be fine. He's about the only guy that CJ Stroud trusts. And then we kind of talked about already, too. Tight ends have been relatively successful against Houston, and it is
It's
tight end week.
Conditions are good. I mean, and again, like so, I mentioned Ingram. If you look at targets per game, then actually Schultz is right there because I mean
Mhm.
he's only played 3 games over the last 4 weeks, and since Ingram's been back. So I said since Ingram's been back, but you know he's only played 3 since then. I mean, it's possible, but with this many spins, I don't know.
I mean,
I don't.
we're down to
I
3 spins, needing a
Even if
tight
I have
end
him as
from
a top, I think we can get a top 5 option, and I think he's more of like border him and like K Dot, and they're like borderline top 10. Again, that's a player where if we get him on the final spin, I'll be happy about it, but it's not a lock.
Fair enough. 3 spins left. We're gonna push for some luck here. Wandale and Jawan.
Juwan trending up a little bit
Mhm.
after the ankle injury, but I still don't trust it.
Yep, I'm right there with you. So we'll spin it again.
Okay. This is where it gets interesting, dude, because I am way ahead of most people on Kyle Pitts. He has a great matchup against Miami. The underlying stats are good, but I don't know if he's a lock, man. I don't know. You have more experience with this than me. Do we ruin our lineup by that much not locking a guy like Pitts if we get like Noah Fant or something?
I mean, I think what we have to look at is if you're not going to get the Tyler Warrens, the Jake Fergusons, and some of those studs of the world, you basically have to find the guy that people maybe aren't going to lock where you can gain your leverage on the field. I
Right.
think that's what we're looking at here. And I'm looking at like the coverage data for like
Miami.
what Miami does. And I mean, they play a fair amount of cover two. Pitts hasn't been necessarily great against that, but they also play a decent amount of man. And Pitts is leading the Falcons in fantasy points per route run against man.
Right. I mean, here are the I was just pulling some stats on Pitts the other day. Here you go. Tight end 2 in route participation, tight end 5 in pass block rate, tight end 5 in screen targets, tight end 6 in the league in receptions versus man to man, which you kind of pointed out. Tight end 6 in target share, tight end 7 in broken tackles. And for me, I have them ranked right around tight end 7, 8, depending on your format. So,
Yeah.
I mean, and again, Goddard's banged up. I don't even know. It's kind of coin flip territory with guys like Kincaid and Travis Kelsey. The only guys I have squarely ahead are Warren, Ferguson, and Tucker Craft, and Kittle probably as well.
Yeah.
So I say we lock him in, man. I
And
say we
then
lock him.
so then we are at a lock. So then it comes down. Are you good with Judkins down? Because basically now we're going for that duo. So is the duo of Pitts or Judkins worth locking the lineup in now, or we go for that last spin magic and possibly run the risk of Theo Johnson and Braxton Berrios?
I mean, I have Judkins RB12 going up against the Pats here. It's not like the best matchup, but he's been good. 3 touchdowns last week.
Yeah.
I hate leaving the spin on the table, dude. I hate leaving it on the table. What do you think, man? I'll defer
I
to you.
I would lock it. Honestly,
Let's
if we're gonna
lock
be
it.
honest, I love the Schultz and Kittle one, and that was I mean, projections mean nothing in the end of it, but that was about 129, 130. This is actually technically our highest projected one, and I will never fault when you're going for your last 2 spots that you have to get. I will never fault 2 players with a reliable workload,
Let's lock him in, man.
and that's
That left side of the screen lets us kind of get creative with the right side. And when you stack it up like this, I mean, Josh Allen, McCaffrey, Barkley, Chase, Smith, Egbuka. In theory, it feels real nice. It
yep,
feels real nice.
and let's cap this off. Let's do a pick 'em entry here. So, of course, we can't go with less than these. It's got to be more than they're projected. That's what we're picking for here. We got to pick at least 3 players. We can go obviously up to all 8 if we think all 8 exceed their projection there. But of the players on the screen, Coop, which, let's say, 1 or 2 are you most confident in going in their projected total as shown on the
Yeah,
screen?
I like the sneaky ones that we like. So I think we go with Kyle Pitts to
Yep.
have. I mean, you score 1 touchdown, you get that, and then I think Devonta Smith, based on where we feel about this player this week, that's criminally low. And then now is the game of like, okay, 20 PPR points. That's a lot. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
to set the bar there. I think we might just have to lean into Judkins or Egbuka here and just and play that game. Because I mean, I have Egbuka. A healthy Egbuka is still wide receiver 5 for me. Actually, a healthy Egbuka is ranked for me right behind Chase, I would say.
Yeah.
Now, well, Chase is probably 1 or 2. So, but yeah, I'd say we go Ibuka.
And I'm looking here. I'm good with Ibuka, and I think the other one I might put it Chase because Sauce has the concussion, didn't practice
Yeah.
Wednesday. I don't think you can clear if you miss practice Wednesday. I don't think at least.
So
Or can you get
actually,
through it?
that's what I thought too. I think typically if you get a limited practice and you're good, I thought that was that too. But Marvin Harrison Jr. actually
Mm.
cleared last week on a Friday. Um, but yeah, usually you don't clear if he's not even limited on Wednesday. He's just completely on not
He was
practicing at
he was a
all.
straight DNP Wednesday.
Yeah, he's probably not going to go then. So maybe we go Chase.
Let's go both. Let's go Chase and Igbuka. Let's try to 10x this bad boy and
All right.
take home. Let's up it to 1,000 tokens. Let's see if we can get Kyle Pitts, Devontae Smith, Jamar Chase, and Emeka Igbuka to go over their projected total, turn 1,000 tokens there
I love that, dude.
into 10,000. So let's lock that in and let's put a bow on our entry here for week 8. So, Coop, let everyone know where they can find you and what you got this fantasy football season.
Absolutely. All my content over at Fantasy Alarm. We got a lot of free stuff. We got a lot of stuff behind the paywall. And then you can hear me on Sirius XM channel 87 on Wednesdays and Thursdays, 6 to 8. And then, of course, on Sunday mornings, 10 to 11. So easy to find me on Twitter at Coop A Fiasco as well.
You said it right there at Coupe Fiasco over on X. You can find me over on X at Colby R. Conway. And if you want to spin to win and experience the newest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports this football or basketball or hockey season, make sure you head over to the Google Play or the Apple App Store. Download the Fantasy Spin app today, and we will see you on the leaderboard. What's up, y'all? Hope you enjoyed the content. For the avoidance of doubt, please note that I, Colby Conway, am a DFS player entering these contests under the username Colby Conway. The strategies and recommendations in this video do not necessarily reflect the views of Fantasy Spin. Please play responsibly and visit fantasyspin.com/responsible gaming to take advantage of Fantasy Spin's responsible gaming resources.